Shavua Tov Rabotai, we're continuing with our Mishna Yomi Masechet Peah. We're up to Perek Dal Mishnah Vav. The Mishnah now discusses a case of a goy who reaped the produce of his field and then he converted to Judaism. Is he obligated in the mitzvah of leket shicha and peah? Oved kochavim shekatzar tzadeu v'akach nitgayer, a non-Jew who harvests his field and then he converts, patur min leket u'min shicha u'min peah. The Tana Kama holds he is exempt from all three mitzvot of leket, shicha, and peah. Again, Rabotai, leket is when you harvest it with your sickle and some grain fall down. It's called the gleanings. You have to leave it there. Shicha is when you carry the bundles to the threshing floor, and when you get there, you realize you forgot less than 2 seah. You have to leave it there. And peah is to leave the standing crop. If the non-Jew harvests his field and then he converts when it's already in bundles, the Tana Kama holds he's exempt from all three mitzvot. Why? Because the Rav explains that Torah says in every single one of the mitzvot, when you reap your harvest, to exclude a non-Jew who reaps his harvest. And since this person was a non-Jew while he reaped his harvest, it stays exempt even after he converts. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. He says, you're right, you're exempt by peah and leket, because those mitzvot begin when you harvest, and he was a goy when he harvested. But the mitzvah of shicha, of when you forget the bundles, only applies once you carry the produce to the threshing floor. And then you realize, oh, I forgot some back in my field. You have to leave it there if it's less than 2 seah. Here, what was the case? The non-Jew reaped the harvest, converted, and then took it to the threshing floor. So Rabbi Yehuda says he already became chayav in the mitzvah after he converted. Therefore, he's exempt from leket and peah, but he's obligated in shicha. If he goes to the threshing floor and he realizes he forgot less than 2 seah, he must leave it there because he only became obligated once he became a Jew. Again, about that, Tana Kama disagrees. He holds you're exempt by all three mitzvot since you harvested it when you were a non-Jew. That is the end of Mishnah Vav. Rabotai, Mishnah Zayin goes on a similar context regarding donating your produce to the Beit HaMikdash. As an introduction, Rabotai, the Rav says, just like a non-Jew who harvests a field is exempt even after he converts from leket, shicha, and peah, so too produce that is donated to the Beit HaMikdash, the Beit HaMikdash does not have to leave leket, shicha, and peah when they harvest it. The Mishnah now is going to discuss different stages when it was donated. Hikdish kama upadak kama chayav. Let's say one person, a farmer, he donated his crop to the Beit HaMikdash while it was standing. It wasn't harvested yet, and then he bought it back while it's still standing, meaning the Beit HaMikdash did not do anything yet. I sold it to them and bought it the same way how I sold it. He remains obligated, chayav, in leket, shichat, and peah. Why? Because he owned it at the time of harvesting. In order to be exempt, the Beit HaMikdash has to own it when it's being harvested. But since the Beit HaMikdash did not own it when it was being harvested, I bought it back, and now I harvested, I still am obligated in leaving leket, shichat, and peah. Omarin upada, omarin chayav. Likewise, Rabotai, if produce, you harvested it, put it in bundles, sold it to the Beit HaMikdash, and bought it back the same way while it's still in bundles, also chayav. You also chayav in leket, shichat, and peah. Why? Because again, the Beit HaMikdash did not own it when it was being harvested. The key is that the Beit HaMikdash must own it while it's being harvested. In this case, what happened? I harvested it, put it in bundles, sold it to them, bought it back the exact same way. Therefore, it still remains obligated in leket, shichat, and peah. Rabotai, in the last cases, kamau, padao, marin, pitura. If I sold it to them while it was standing and bought it back when it was in bundles, meaning that the Beit HaMikdash harvested it, I am patur from leket, shichat, and peah, because now in this case, it's in their possession when it's harvested, and we know that if they harvested the Beit HaMikdash, it is exempt even after I buy it back. Shebishat chovata ita pitura, because at the time when it potentially could have been obligated, it was exempt because the Beit HaMikdash owned it. The Mifarshim explained, the Rav writes, in this case also, Rabbi Yehuda would disagree. He would say, you're right, by leket and by peah he's exempt because it's a time of harvesting, it was owned by the Beit HaMikdash, but shicha would be obligated. And why? Because when did he buy it back? When it was in bundles. The mitzvah of shicha is only when you take those bundles to the threshing floor. This Jew owns it when he takes it to the threshing floor. Therefore, Rabbi Yehuda would say, if he remembers that he forgot it there, he must leave it. Again, Tana Kama disagrees. He holds all three are exempt. That is the end of today's Mishna Yomi, Rabotai. Everyone shall have a Shavua Tov. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen v'amen.